So speaking of the lyric video, here we go. And in this case, this is basically my thoughts on the words. But again, it's poetry, and it's not my strong suit. But I'll share what I think. She's saying, or maybe what I anyway. The whatever. We'll just go through it.
I'm tired of the rules and your corrections. I want to live my life, be all of its pages, and underline that I am not an angel.
Okay, now that is something quite quite amazing. She wants to live her life. To me, this sounds more like a plea, to I think the people out there, her fans, especially fanatics, which tend to constrict an artist in some way or another, because there's a lot of pressure that is put on them and so on, and because an artist such as her, and fans of any artist or anything actually in particular, especially fanatics in general, they tend to put a lot of stress on the idea of that thing that they're fans of or fanatic of becomes so important to them that it becomes their anchor, their light in this world. And I think what she's trying to say is, listen, I'm not an angel. You shouldn't necessarily perceive me as being this being from another world or something, that or being from from like a perfect spiritual being and so on, in the sense of how we perceive angels and so on. But yeah, so I think she's just trying to say, okay, like, I'm still just a girl, just a human being. And I think that, I don't know, at least that's what I understood from it. But maybe, like I said, I'm extrapolating, probably maybe projecting somewhat of my own ideas, because after all, I don't know Aurora, and I'm just guessing.
'Cause if I'm not pure, I guess that I'm too much. I'll never know how to keep in touch. If I'll be somebody, I'll never let my skin decide it for me. I never had the world, so I change for it. I never had the world, so I change for it.
Now, that's actually quite amazing. There's a few items there a few things, and I'm just going to go back a little bit further back. Where does this start? Okay, hold on. Okay.
Keep in touch.
So it's like, because maybe people perceive her as being so perfect, or that it's hard for a person. The higher you put a person on a pedestal, the harder it is for that person to keep in touch with the ground or the people, and maybe that's what she's referring to here. And then I mean that she says that she's never had the world, so why change for it? I mean, it seems to me that she's saying, for her, she's always been herself, and it's not like she wanted the world, or she wanted to be famous, or she wanted to do anything in that from that perspective of superficial, and that's why she's referring to her skin, I think. And so why would she change for that type for a world that she never even really wanted or gravitated towards? Um, it seems like the world is gravitating towards her, and that's actually quite amazing, you know. And I hope so too, that the world gravitates towards what she's saying anyway, you know, not necessarily her light, but what she's saying is given to the love. She's not saying given to me, her, you know. She's saying given to the love, but love is something quite different because it seems to be a current, normal theme in her songs, love, right? But I think ultimately she's referring to a love that's unconditional, and that is something quite different. And people, and I think in a way, people may be associating love with her, in the sense of they love her, you know, and her music, and but her and so on. And she's saying given to the love, but at the end, unconditional love, not necessarily love towards her, even though I'm sure she appreciates it. But ultimately, that's not the light you want to base your whole existence on. It's the actual light that comes from within at the end that actually makes a person enlightened. And I think in there's some kind of that type of feeling that I think she's trying to explain. Again, this is just my thoughts on it. I'm probably wrong. We'll find out when she does maybe the genius thing, you know, that when she's on that show, she does, you know, she talks about the lyrics, and there could be completely different idea behind it.
Someone out there is trying to find somebody who is not dying, but everybody cries and nobody comforts. The television lies and now my mind hurts.
I mean, that's really something, you know. She's basically again saying, you know, nobody's perfect, so you know, like everybody makes mistakes, and we shouldn't. We're all looking for someone that's whole and that's not dying, you know, in this world. Whole meaning, I would think that has that type of enlightenment, but within this world, to be enlightened, in a way, you're sort of dying because of how the world is, you know. And then and then the part about the television, that's funny, you know. She watches television and now her mind hurts. I think that's actually just funny
And if I'm not
because she's right, you know. I think when I, you know, like when I watch especially network television, the way it is nowadays with the reality TV shows and so on, especially, I actually feel my brain cells dying.
I guess that I am cursed.
And this whole idea that I guess if I'm not loved, then I'm cursed. You know, again, that comes by. I think she's trying to say, you know, that love is not necessarily something that you need from someone else. You know, it's something that it emerges from you. And if you can find that unconditional love that comes from you, from inside, okay, not from you, but from inside, then that love is independent of anything else. So you'll always feel love, regardless of others, or even yourself. Because there's that energy, there's that affection for all things, you know, within you. And but that is a very difficult thing to understand and to to get to, because that is enlightenment in itself.
I gotta know to beat it first. If I'll be somebody, I'll never let my skin decide it for me. I never had the world, so I change for it. I never had the world, so I change for it.
I mean, really, she's basically saying, I'm not going to change. It doesn't matter what happens, what fame I have, what the world throws at me. I'm going to do my thing, and this girl is uncompromising in her love, and I think that that's what people gravitate towards, because she is that light, that everybody, like I said, instead of, ultimately, if we don't find it within ourselves, we're attracted to others that have it. And also because during tough times like we've been going through with the pandemic and loneliness and solitude and a whole bunch of other things that society throws at us, throws at people, it's always natural, to gravitate towards someone that seems above it all. And this is, I think, what's happening here. I think love is her favorite word. If I had to guess. I think that's probably the only thing that I'm correct about in this whole spiel that I've just done, I actually like this video, the lyric video, even though there's nothing except stars and a little bit the lyrics and so on, some graphics. I actually really like it, But I always liked watching the stars. I think that's the most beautiful thing, the night sky and so on. She passed by. Did you see the little star? Hold on. Where is it? Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, you see the star? That's her. That's the one that passed by. There it is. That's Aurora. Okay. Let me stop this before it goes to somewhere else. Okay. Anyway, so I like I said, I did this after the actual video. So yeah, I think there's another version or something, but that I'll do another time, I think. So and I'm sure there'll be other versions as well on top of this. Anyways, beautifully done. I mean, to me, here in this particular song, as opposed to Cure for Me, in addition to Cure for Me, the lyrics here are, I find, really revealing in a sense of her character and where her mind may be at, and yeah, so I can understand why she would want to at times just do her own thing, leave the world for a little while, in the sense of take a little break here and there and go. I don't know where she goes. She goes, I think, to the woods near her house or something, right? And wherever she goes, I don't know. But anyway, that's about it. So hope this was okay. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.